Okay, so I had such an awesome time in Washington State when I was staying on, I forgot to mention the name of the island. It's Cypress Island in the San Juan Islands in Washington. I liked it so much. It was so beautiful there. And I decided to move there. And there were a lot of reasons for this. But basically, before I left to go back to Pennsylvania to, kind of get all my stuff together and um, just start the moving process. I actually, um, what I ended up doing was I got two jobs before I even left. I had it all planned out. I was going to be responsible. I wasn't just going out there to like be a bum or whatever. I got two jobs. The first one was at a motel. I got a job as a housekeeper and actually got to stay there for free. Actually, that like I didn't get actual money for it, but I had a free place to live. I could stay there, and so I had like rent taken care of or whatever. And then I got a job at a bakery in town, and that covered my other expenses, food and stuff. And I also would get like free food there too. Um, so I went back to Pennsylvania, and there were also other reasons that I decided not to go back to stay in Pennsylvania. And there's like one of the reasons is because um basically one of the reasons was because I kind of didn't go over this in past videos, but I'm just going to kind of briefly summarize. um See, when I was 19, I had started counseling, and I actually, there was one time where I was vegan and I had lost like 10 pounds during my first semester at college. And I went home for a break, and I was in my room, and my dad came into my room, and he's like, "Oh, you lost weight, you look good." And he basically like started feeling my leg up in a sexual manner. So it was like, it's sexual abuse, but it was kind of mild, I would say, compared to what happened to me when I was younger. But when I went to counseling, I happened to mention it. And that was when I kind of started talking about the other stuff that happened when I was younger. And I talked to my parent. Well, first I talked to my mom, and I told her like what I remembered happening to me. And I don't even think I mentioned the more recent. Maybe I did. I don't know. But I feel like she knew about it. She was trying to act like she didn't know. But when I confronted her about it, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't talk to your father about this." And I was like, "Why?" And she's, "Well, I'm afraid he'll kill himself." And I'm like, "Okay." And then she talked to him about it. And I guess he denied it, but he immediately started crying, and he couldn't sleep for 3 days. Which, if you listen to my earlier videos, he didn't really have I feel like I've said this before, that I feel like he lacks empathy and everything, because he never lost sleep over anything. And so I thought, at the time, I thought he felt guilty. I've told other people about it. They said, "Oh, he's probably just sad that he got caught or whatever. He's not sorry. He's sorry he got caught." And I don't know how I feel about that. It could be either, I guess. But I decided that I wanted my family to go to therapy with me, because I thought maybe I didn't even want to like, I wasn't calling the cops. I wasn't trying to do anything to like harm anybody. I just wanted to talk about it and work through it as a family. And of course they came. They totally denied it. And the funniest thing was, they were trying to come up with some reason why I would say it. Like, basically, they were trying to make it seem like I was like crazy. And they were like, "Maybe she has epilepsy and she had a seizure and she just imagined this." And I was laughing. I was like, "Dude, I know I don't have epilepsy. Go ahead. So they did a brain scan, and I'm like, yeah, see, I knew it. I don't have epilepsy, so nice try. So basically, that was like one of the reasons why I decided to leave. And the other reason is because I basically cheated on my boyfriend while I was in Washington. I didn't mention that before, but I cheated on him one time, and yeah, so that kind of ended. But anyway, yeah, so then I got on the plane and I decided I'm going to Anacortes. And so I got there and I started working the motel and the bakery, and everything was okay. I actually ended up becoming friends with another one of the housekeepers who also was sexually abused growing up. And so we became like really good friends. Actually, she was a lot older than me, so she was kind of like a mother figure, or she'd always give me like food and stuff like that. And yeah, and to make a long story short, I guess the manager, he never did anything to me, but apparently when she would get drunk, he would like rape her and all this stuff. And at the time, I was just like, I didn't know what to do about it. And I was like, I bet no one's going to listen anyways, because that was kind of like what happened with my dad. Nobody did anything. So I was like, what am I going to do about it, you know? And her boyfriend, he was a lot older. And so one time, so she was actually an alcoholic. She was a recovering alcoholic. She relapsed. And he, you know, the manager started raping her and all this stuff. And I was really upset because she had relapse, obviously. And I went to her boyfriend's room and I was like, I'm really worried. And instead of being worried, he gave me alcohol. And I was like, oh, what the heck? You know, what's the big deal? I might as well just get drunk too. So I did. I drank an entire bottle of vodka by myself. And I ended up having sex with this guy. I don't even barely remember it. I remember I woke up and I was still really sick. I had been on my period. And I was like, I woke up and I was like, I didn't have my tampon in. And I'm like, so I went over to the sink and it was in there. And then I was like, I wanted to have sex again. So we did. And then I had to be at work 6 a.m. because I worked at a bakery. I went in there. I was still so sick. I actually went in there and just puked in the garbage can. But, you know, in typical Gen X fashion, I stayed anyway. But anyway, yeah, that was that. And the friend of mine got really mad at me. She actually took me into her room. She smacked me across the face and she's just like, you're a whore and all this stuff. So that was the time at the motel. So yeah,